Thank you. I know I have a wallpaper. You don't have to tell me. Okay, so let's start today's session without any delay. Uh, so I'm Enigmatic Arya. So today I'm going to teach how to use Blender or how to master Blender simulation tools. So first of all, as we all know, the dumbest thing in the world, open Blender. Hmm, Hello, we got our interface here. So what do we do now? There are so many things. Let's say there is a general, there is 2D animation, there is sculpting and storyboarding, VFX and story video editing. So there are total six of this. For 3D animation, what do we have to select? So it's the biggest task that we are gonna face, I guess. But it's let's just in this 3D animation is known as general. You just select general and voila, you got yourself a cube here. So what do you do with this? So let's just delete it. So let's go. Now we have nothing, just a camera and a light. That's it. You can see. So this is the main graph, and these are the lights, camera, and this is an entire collection that what we are gonna do. And here there are so many different options: world, collections. So there are different types of properties. What do we have to do is now? First, we'll go a step-by-step procedure. First, we are going to use, let's say, cloth animation. How does a cloth in animation work? And next, fluid. And after that, we'll go with the ocean. So first of all, let's go with the cloth. So go with the Shift A. You'll open a new Add Tools. In this, select Mesh, and you'll have so many things here. Let's say we'll just select something. Mm, let's select a sphere. So we got ourselves a sphere, and let's just grab. And shortcut for grab is G, and X moves it in the XY direction, and Y moves it in the Y direction, and Z in the Z direction. So now we got ourselves, uh, let's say, a sphere or else a UV sphere. And how are we gonna create a close like a covering for this, right? So let's just go on. If you click here, these are the grabbing tools. It's a rotation tool. You can rotate and view tool. Okay. This is the zoom in, zoom out. So you can zoom in as much as you want and zoom out. It's the pan tool, so you can move it. And there is the camera view, toggle, and current view. So the view we current are. So let's say numpad 5 goes on for different views, numpad 5. So this is how. So this is the thing. Now we got ourselves a sphere. So we don't know what do we do. So we just use scale to large it and lower it. Or else, let's say we use. So first we are going to create an cloth simulation. So with for cloth simulation, we have to cover the sphere. Okay. So how are we going to cover the sphere? Press Shift A again, and new window will open up like an add window. So here you select plane, and oh, the plane has been gone in a different place. G for control and Z for upward, and click S and scale it. So this is how much we scaled it. Let me zoom in now. Zoom it less. Okay. Oh, okay. So now you got it. What do we have to do? So this plane works as in cloth, and this circle it works as an object now. So how are we going to do it? First select sphere, and here is the modifiers tool, and add a modifier, and it's your here are the modifiers. You can add subdivision surface. So let's just update. So now it's a clean one. Like you can see the sphere is having more faces now, and render scale will lower the render scale because my laptop isn't suitable for high level rendering process. Now we'll go with the physics, and by selecting the sphere, we'll select collision. We don't have to change anything here in this. So these are just gonna be like this, nothing gonna change. And now for the interesting part, you can make this. You can make the thickness layer higher or lower. I love this and lower, okay, because thickness of outer changes because the collision is field absorption. Hmm. And look, we got the render properties here. So how much is the render property? 16 sample. It's a sample render, so we're not going to use it now. So we have already created a sphere for ourselves, and now for the interesting part. And what is that? The plane. We are going to create a class now because the collision is there. So how does the collision work? Let's say there are two bikes facing each other. When they race at the same time, they both are gonna get collide. So that's how this thing gonna work. The object is colliding with another one. So what do we have to do is select the physics tool. Here are the tools. There is a wrench tool named modifiers and the particles, the physics, constants, data, and material. And object collection, world, scene, new layer, output, render, and tool. So physics properties. So we'll go with the cloth now, and this is where we do mistakes. Going and selecting the cloth, it's not the right thing. So what we have to do is first, because we have already selected the cloth, it's not gonna work. So let's just delete the cloth and delete this plane because the plane has gone. Now Shift A, and short key for opening this folder, this add folder. You have to click Shift A and select a plane again. Grab in Z direction and S for scaling and scale it higher. Now you see here you have total six things. One is the object mode, edit mode, sculpt mode, and vertex paint, weight paint, texture paint. So what we have to do is we have to select edit mode, and now you can see the entire thing is colored in a golden orange, I guess. So what we have to do is right click, subdivide. So now this has created an one face has created four faces, and four faces created six, and six to more 12. So that's how this gonna work. So let's just you how many you want. So I'm gonna 10. 10 is the highest subdivision and number of cuts for this much scaling. So we have separate faces now. So 10 from here, 10 from here. So total goes for 100 blocks in here. So now we have 100 faces. So this entire faces works as a this entire edge. We can call this an edge. The point I selected just now is called as edge, and this entire thing is known as a face. This is known as a face, and these are if you select these and these are let's say let's and these two are now a vertices. So now we are in this tool, and now we have to select the float simulation tool and quality step. We have to raise it how many we want, better quality but slower. So let's just I'm gonna reduce it. So we have nothing to change in this. It's already set angular, but you can add weight from 1 kg. I'll add 1 kg of vertex mass and air viscosity. I don't need anything with one, so let's just leave it like that. And now when you I'm gonna set frames. You'll get a normal frame of 250, but we'll edit this into 150. So we have now 150 frames only. So whenever you use this now, So I added many faces now. So let's say uh, in front now there was 10 faces. Now I upgraded it to 20. So 20 means here 20 and there 20, that side 20 and this side 20. Now I'll go to object mode. Now you can see there's plane and ball hanging. So how does this work, huh? Just click. You get it why does it working like that and why the cloth is covered in this, right? So what have we done is the vertex mask. We have changed the vertex mask. So on different vertex mask there is different things, okay? And also in collision we have changed uh, and then we have the thicker our thickness and we'll lower it as much as possible. So you get it right now. I lower it completely so that it won't let's say, let's just go down. So what will we do is we'll just go on to the wrench modifiers and we have already selected another modifier named subdivide. We'll simply delete it and now it's just like it goes pass through it. So what are we gonna do? Nothing. So we have to delete the collision also and go into the physics tool again and select collision this time and try. Getting a point now. So it's getting knob, okay? Let's get the thickness, increase the thickness, I guess. See if there's a higher thickness, the higher chance this thing gonna be eaten alive. So this thing has just sucked into it. So, so what are we gonna do? Delete this here, but not this. Now it's just falling alone. So let's go with the Shift A again and select the UV sphere. If that happens, and select collision. And that's it. Nothing, we need to change nothing in this. Wait, and there. And now what's going on in this is we have to increase the friction somewhat and thickness, let's say 0.06 and enter and there. It started to covering itself. So we have successfully covered it. So the thickness outer, what is this thickness mean? So it creates a boundary of a thick layer where it need to be stopped. So you get a smooth animation like this. So here you can see here we'll just reduce some of the end time into 100. So no more timeless or time more or lower there. Now you can see if you made it to 0.07 and now it covered, but It's like in popping animation, like how can you say that? So this is known as the cloth simulation. So at next, what are we gonna do is so for here we're gonna end this. We're gonna end this one here and let's create a new one. And what are we gonna do? And delete this. So we have the same interface back. And so now what are we gonna do is to create an ocean. I'll show you one of my previous splash screen. So blend. Okay. So I'll just play the animation and zero for the wrong screen. So here's the water blend animation that we're gonna learn now. So you might think what is this and what's going on in this, right? So this is in water simulation. You can see there's the pool and there's the tap. So I'll show you when we hit play what's gonna happen. So when we hit play, it's supposed to drop water in this, and so I'll show you one by spraying it and by spray all and now liquid into sampling to three, and now what I'm gonna do is this liquid and bake all option, and I'll just bake all. Like so, what it does is create a fluid. So the cylinder works as a tap now, or a pipe, you can say. So, so wait for a bit, or let's just grab something. I'm gonna say. So what it's doing is it's selecting each frame and creating a water flow, like how does a water flow in real life, and it will show us in this. So let's say it's going on single frame. You can see here the you can see here the blade baking fluid. So you can select anything now because hmm, so when this baking fluid hits 100, so the animation will be done because there is 250 here, there is 250 at the end. So we'll select here 250 at the end. So how are we gonna do this is I'm gonna teach you because we have so much time and you guys attended my. So remember, it's still in the physics tool because it's a simulation thing. Mm, so I guess 50% is done. We just took 30 minutes in the previous section for that. What do we say? The cloth simulation, the cloth animation. So it's 55% done and we're close to 100. Okay. So we might wonder what it's gonna do. So uh, I'm gonna tell you. Look at it once again. So this thing is a camera. The floating here is a camera. So if you just press 0, it will show on the camera because it's in the loading. It would work right now because it must be over if we want to use it again. So the 166 must hit 250. Hmm. Let's go. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Go on. So, hmm. So give me a few minutes, few seconds, I guess. Few seconds, it will be over and it start. And the animation will start on its own because it's not in the past, it's in the play. So it will play automatically. Oh, till the entire time there. Now, what are we gonna do is, let's take this to 0 and now we'll hit play. Now look at it. So there is the water flowing. So again, you want to know how to do it, and let's just go here and you can say what's going on in this now. Whoa, there is so much in here, you don't know what to do. So How do we create this? So we'll just go here. We'll just create a new splash screen and general file, save blend. You have to save that because so let's shift A. Never use the splash screen cube because it may show you errors. It's an error thing. So use mesh, a cube. Now scale, and for scaling the shortcut key is S. And if you so what are you gonna do is shift Z. So now this will move in X direction and Y direction at the same time. So now you can make it as long as you want, as far as you want. So I'm just okay with this. So I'm okay with this now. So we'll go into the edit mode and not gonna delete everything. Select Z and select this and delete. So what we selected is a face, okay? So we're gonna delete the face only. So now we got ourselves a box. You might want to know how are we gonna identify. So you're gonna see two edges here and vertices and a vertex and two edges. Okay. So in these two edges, what are we gonna do is there is no thickness in this. Let's just go into the object mode. Or if you don't like clicking that, always like going here and clicking object mode to edit mode, you can just press tab. So if you press tab, you'll go into the edit mode directly, and if you press again, you'll go into the object mode. So, so now we have to make this thing look like a pool. So what are we gonna do is use modifier. So add a modifier and go on for the generate, and you can see here there is a tool named solidify. So select that solidify. It's already created a small thickness. So now we're gonna increase it. Now you can see they started increasing the width. So called thing you can see now. See, it's created an entire thing. So we're not gonna use so much. This will be enough. 0.08 will be enough. Now you can know this is the thickness. Even thickness, if you add this, everything will be even. So there will be no long and short thing. And now we got this. We need to create a tap. So we have to create a tap because the water need to come out. So what is a closed tap? Will we say is that a sphere? No, I'm gonna say it's a cylinder. I'll select a cylinder and I'll select rotate tool and X tool and now just type 90. We've gone into 90 degrees and enter. So now in the X direction, I'm gonna select grab and Y direction. I'm gonna bring it out here and now I'll grab it again and go on with the Z direction and this much height will be okay. So scale it. So this is how you're gonna scale this. But what we have to do is click on scale and select this. We'll start making it in the Z direction or Y direction. So just go on and select the width and that's it. This will be enough. So grab X, Y tool and let's just make it closer and now have it set from the Y side. So I'll create a cube with A and cube really quick and S for scaling. I'm just scaling to this much, okay? And now what I have to do is I have to rotate this. For rotating, the short key is R and R for rotate. So rotate short key is R. Remember that, and go on for the X direction and press 90. It will automatically rotate it. So enter. Now we got ourselves, and now grab it on Y direction. Select it again G and Z direction. And now you need to know how are we gonna scale this, right? So always select S when the cursor is far and Control Z. Okay. Control Z on Control Z here. Oh yeah, I think Shift Z. Okay. Shift Z. Y. So this much will be enough. So what we are gonna do is move. Okay, and now we are gonna move in this direction and near this, and that's it. So what are we gonna do now with this? We have created this now. Create a subdivide, select the cube and go to the physics. And what are we gonna use? A water. Water means fluid. Fluid. For this we have to create an effector. Okay. So you can use the scale length 1 and select east planar and that's it. And we have to select for this fluid, non-flow, and here flow type there is smoke, fire, liquid. So if we have to select liquid on sampling to 1. So now this won't work because there is no domain space in this. So what we have to do is Control S, it's a snap tool, Control A, Shift A, I mean, sorry, Shift A, and we'll select a new cube. And this time we're not gonna do anything with that. We're just gonna use scale and increase this and scale again. and y direction, sorry, z direction because it have to go upside. Hmm. So we have created this. So in this there is a pool and everything. So there's a pool and this is the tap we are going to use or a pipe. So what are we going to do with this now? This cube. So what are we going to do is select fluid for this cube, and here instead of none we are going to use a domain. We are creating a domain for this. So here there is gas. So we'll change gas to liquid, and resolution will increase the resolution, and we have to create diffusion and catches, and there must be, you must use it for replay and modular also. So we'll select all in this and resumable, so we can resume it and see how many times we want. And now what we need to do is we have to adjust this. So let's say this is the inner part now. So now what are we gonna do is bake all again. So bake it. So this time render is far quicker, I guess, because what we have selected is the sampling is low and the rendering speed will be low. So it will work faster this time because my laptop has accepted that now. Because the resolution is low and I have only selected one frame, so it won't flow rather than one frame per second. So it's easy now. You get it, right? So fluid, bake completed. So if we just get inside in this, well, here is what's happening. So the water is not getting inside. So instead, water, what is this? What's going on is it's dropping downwards. So we'll select this and liquid geometry. So instead of geometry, what are we gonna do is inflow. Okay, so we're gonna use an inflow. So for the inflow, it won't work right now. So we have to select the cube one and free all, and we have to bake it all again now. So geometry will so how does this thing work? You might be wondering. So geometry, it means how much the cube can actually withstand the water. How much water can a cube withstand? That much water will only flow. If we use inflow, it's like a pipe with an infinite water source. So it will drain, the water will just push out. Instead of getting downwards, the water will push out. And now look at this. So the baking is over, and now the water just won't stop now. It will fill this entirely. So till it's gonna bake, it's gonna bake and not gonna stop. So you have to select the initial velocity and x to, let's say, and x meter per second as minus 4, enter. And now we have to bake it all again. Cube 1. So because cube 1 is what we used, so cube 1 will use for everything and free all now. So I'm freeing it and now I'm gonna bake. It's gonna take some time, but let's wait and see what's gonna happen. I know I'm damn silent, but it's just so now the intake has begun, but the tube is flowing water because it's not that much higher. So what we have to do is we have to make this thing more. So grab it on the direction. It's not that much, but you can do this much, okay? And now and grab it on Y direction. And now look at this. The water is still flowing there. So what we have to do is bake again. So you can bake it how many times you want. Let's just say I'll go here and free all and bake all. I like doing this more often because we can use like what do we say? So the baking is over. So now the video must start. And yes, let's go. Oh, so cylinders wall bar flow and let's say liquid. I'll go on with the 2. So it's now R3. Initial velocity minus 4, enter. And now what I'm gonna do is Q1 free all and take off. And take off. It started itself. So let's wait. Hmm. So Now the screen is back, so we'll just go into this now because it's remember this. So we have kept cylinder in sorry, geometry. So we don't have to do this now. So it just shoots the water in it because we have increased the thickness. The thickness will look like this somewhat. And if you use inflow, I mean, and now we're gonna use the cube one and pre-all and bake all. So what I'm trying to say is the more different type of things you're gonna use, the more different it's gonna get. So water will change itself when the cylinder is changing its shape, its geometry and inflow and outflow techniques. So the roughness and the particle will be changed to the narrow render will be changed, then the frictional obsession will be changed, and threshold will be threshold will have a major thing in this. So what does threshold do is threshold must be in 0.05 in everything we use in this. Not only in this, in the cloud simulation and in the water simulation as well. Look at that now. Overflow, guys. So it's just gotten itself overflow. So this is how then let's just go on for 300. And you might wonder what's gonna happen after 250 because we didn't noted anything here. Like you can see here, it's 250 at the end. So the animation will only work till the 250, and if we go after 250, it's not gonna work. It's just gonna collapse itself. And just the cube again. So what we have to do is, so in the catchy section, we have to change it into whatever the frame we are using. So 300, right? 300. So now we got both resume and free. So free and bake. That's it. It's as simple as that. So take a break and I have my sketchbook with me and I noted some kind of threshold energies and I'm gonna tell you there are so many notes in this and this session will only work on simulation 2. It's just hashtag 1. So there is an hashtag 2 also you can use that. In that we're gonna learn how to create a fire, how to create a smoke and fire plus smoke. And not only that, we're gonna create an ocean. Like how do we create an ocean in that? So the baking is completed. Now look at the final view and how much does 300 frames can do. Like what a 300 frames will do if we, because of the frames, the seconds will be increased because frame sometimes let's say FPS my FPS is 15 per second, so 24 now, 24 frames per second. So what is 24 per second frame? It's a frame where 24 seconds, it takes 24 seconds to create this. So water is gushing out. So domains. So this is what we have created today, and we'll delete this. And the final thing I'm gonna teach now is ocean. So how do we create an ocean? It's a plane. So we have to select a plane and let's go on and scale it and go on. This much. So this is a plane and we're gonna scale it more and that's it. So is it a constant or let's say modifiers? In modifier you have to go to physics and now you can see close, collision, dynamic paint, explode, fluid, ocean, particle instance, particle system and soft body. So what are we gonna choose now? Because the fluid is over, now we are gonna choose an ocean. So let's just select ocean. So whoa, it's just created itself an own ocean. So I'll show you. So now you can see. So the animation won't you can't look at what are we seeing, okay? So you go into generate and displace. Now it's just became a small hexagon. So generate. So what you have to do is it's just an you have to repeat this. Repeat X and repeat Y and you have to do this 4. So 3, 4 and a 3, 4 and now we have. So when we click it, still the animation won't work here. So how are we create this animation? So let's say if the time is selected here and the depth is 200 meters and render properties and we go into the modifier section again and render there is higher render so we don't have that much of system so we'll just reduce the frames and it's still not moving. So what are we gonna do? Waves. Select waves and select one 500. I'll go with 6 and scale and now look at from here and now let's say yeah here I'll just go on and not gonna erase that much and 100 will be fine. Happiness. So we'll delete this entire notes here. So now this too will become a duration time. For this, the smallest way, let's go on with 1.20 and alignment, okay, and form. We need a form. So coverage must be in this much will be okay, and there it takes a move now. 200. There is the smallest move, but way if you increase this, you see there's an hexagon shape, but it's trying to move. The wind velocity, if you increase the wind velocity, the more the wind velocity, the more this thing gonna move, you can say that. Choppiness. So let's say generate and random speed must be, let's say, and go on for the 10. And now you don't know what to do, I guess. And spatial size, we have to reduce this into 40. So let's increase this and depth into, let's go for the depth, let's go for 500 meters. 500. And the time, we have to increase the time. Let's go on for 2.2, enter. So I'll just increase the smallest waves. So the more you increase, the more softer it's gonna get. So currently it is moving, but you can't see it because you know that it's a big thing. But if you wanna see it, I'll show it to you. So that's how you're gonna do this. But if you delete this choppiness and now these two are selected, they stay between one thing. So what you have to do is you delete those, and now we're gonna create a point here, and we'll come here and change this into 2, and we'll change this into 2, and we'll select this thing here. So what's gonna happen now? You guys wonder. So because it's a different thing, so I'll delete this one, delete this, and whatever it's here, and I'll drag it here and select both here now. So what's gonna happen now? It's moving, the flow is moving, but you can't just see it. So I'm gonna just delete this, I guess. Delete, delete, and I'll increase this. So because it's a plane, it will tear. It's like a paper, okay? So just go on with it like this, and scaling makes it more difficult for you. You have to just scale it right enough, and that's it. And smaller space must be this much, and that's it. And alignment is like this. And direction and damping, we can. It's our own style of damping. So here you'll select one scale, and here you'll select another. So what's going on here? It's not running. Instead, we'll run it backwards. So you can see this thing is slightly moving, but you can. So it's all crippled up like. And then so how this thing needs to be used? So, so whoa, we got ourselves a monkey here. The wrong file in the dot plan. So this is where the entire collection of mine is setting, and then so this is where it should be. It's a crash file which is not working. Currently, currently it's not working, so I can't show because my rendering is so slow. Of course, so we'll just go into what is this splash screen, and this is what we have created, and so totally we have learned let's say four. One is let's say let's go on. One is the cloth animation, and second thing is the fluid simulation, and third one is the ocean simulation. So we have used modifiers in this. So without using modifiers, we use physics in this. So what happens? Physics uses a direct thing instead of modifiers. It's a long process that you have to do. It's a new update in this Blender 5.1. So this is where I end this video. I hope you guys like it, and if somebody new to the channel, please subscribe and be ready for more content. And I'm trying to improve myself. I know my quality sucks because my mic has broken. So I'm ending the stream now. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like.